Hello, my name is Ashi Singh and I teach social science to class 6 to 10th. I have recently completed my B.Ed and I have also qualified CTET paper 2 in the subject social science. Please stay with me few minutes to understand how I teach. Now, can anyone tell me what is this? This is an onion, right? We all know this. But what if I cut this onion into two pieces? What we will get to see? We will get to see something like this. The layers of the onion, one layer under another layer. Yes? In exactly the same way, do you know children that there are many layers beneath the surface of our earth also? Yes, I hope now you have guessed the topic. So today we will learn about the interior of the earth. So, can anyone tell me how many layers are there below the surface of our earth? Yes, there are total 3 layers. The first one is crust, the second one is mantle, and the third one is core. Now, when we talk about the crust, it is the uppermost layer of the earth. Okay, as we can see clearly from this diagram, that crust is the uppermost layer of the earth, and it is the thinnest layer of the earth. How can I say this? Because if I compare the crust, the mantle and the core, the other 2 layers of the earth, we will see that crust is the thinnest, because from where I am standing, if I dig a hole till the end of this layer, I will see the distance is going to be only 35 kilometers. That is why crust, which is the uppermost layer of the earth, it is the thinnest layer of the earth. Now, till now what we have understood, crust is the surface. Okay, so till now what we have understood, that crust is the surface on which we live. But we also know we find not only continental masses or land masses on the surface of our earth, but also oceanic masses, because we all know that 71% of our earth's surface is covered with water. So there are 2 types of crust. Okay, the first one is continental crust and the second one is oceanic crust. Now, these both type of crust are different in their composition. How? Because the continental crust is made up of silica plus aluminium, that is Cr. If I take Si of silica and Al of aluminium, what we will get? We will get Cr. In the similar manner, oceanic crust is made up of silica plus magnesium. If I take Si of silica and I take Ma of magnesium, what we will get? Something like Cma. Now, this continental crust is extend up to the depth of only 35 kilometers. Whereas, if we talk about the oceanic crust, it extends up to the depth of 5 kilometers only. So, till now what we have understood, that crust is the uppermost layer of the earth. It is the thinnest layer among all the layers of the earth. There are 2 types of crust. First one is continental crust and the second one is oceanic crust. Now, let's move on to the second layer of the earth, which is the mantle. Now, this mantle is the second layer of the earth which lies below the crust. So, till now we have understood that crust is very solid, right? But from now on, when we move on to the mantle and the core, we will see that things are going to change slightly. Why? Because mantle is not only solid in nature like the crust, but it is also viscous in nature. Why? Because the upper mantle, as we can see clearly from this diagram, the upper mantle, which is near the crust, it is viscous in nature and it is also the main source of magma which we see during a volcanic eruption. On the other hand, lower mantle, which is near the outer core, it is as usual solid in nature. That's why we can see here the mantle has two parts, the upper mantle and the lower mantle. Now the second point is it is the thickest. It is as we have seen in the crust, it is the thinnest layer. In the case of mantle, it is the thickest among all the layers of the earth. That means if I start from where the mantle begins and end, then we will see that it extends up to the depth of 2,900 kilometers. Yes, it extends up to a depth of 2,900 kilometers. That's much how it is. And it is 85% by volume. So, till now, what we have learned? That mantle, which is the second layer of the earth, is the thickest among all the layers of the earth. It has two parts. The first one is upper mantle and the second one is lower mantle. The upper mantle, which is near the crust, is viscous in nature and is the source of magma. The lower mantle, which is near the outer core, is solid in nature as usual. Okay, it is 85% of the volume and it extends up to a depth of 2,900 kilometers. Now, we will talk about the last layer of the earth which forms the base of our earth, that is the core. Now, this core is the innermost layer of the earth. How? As we can see clearly from this diagram that it is the innermost layer of our earth. Now, interestingly, that core is made up of two metals like iron and nickel. Okay? And we can also call it as Ni. How? Ni of nickel, Fe. Ferrous, that is the scientific name of iron. That is why we can also call them as Ni. So, the core is made up of iron and nickel and it is in the molten state. Okay? Now, it is 15% by volume. Okay? Now, children, the temperature and pressure here at the core, which forms the base of our earth, is very, very high. Okay? Now, till now what we have learned? That core is the innermost layer of the earth. The temperature and pressure is very, very high. It is 15% by volume and it is made up of iron and nickel. Okay? So now we have understood about all the three layers of the earth. So before ending this video, I have a quick revision question for you children. That is, what is the difference between crust and the core based on their chemical composition? Do tell us the answer in the comment section below. Till then, goodbye. Have a nice day.